What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Selva Soul Retreat Review. I've invited my friend Austin to join us on this little bit of a session to chat about what his retreat was like and what we look forward to in the next one. Hi, Austin. Welcome to the Elemental Serenity Room. I'm so honored you're here, and I wanted to let the world know about you and your experience. I'm so glad that you agreed to do this with me. So thank you for being here.
Absolutely. It's nice to see you, honeybee.
Yeah, let's just take a quick deep breath, put our hands over our head, take a quick stretch, just calibrate to the space. Be here now. Oh, yeah. Stretch it and take a deep breath. Yeah, and release it, let it out. Relax your shoulders. We're here. We're here now. Thank you for being here, and thank you all for being here in the space to witness what we're about to talk about. We're excited to share a little bit about Selva Soul. That was the retreat we had last year, and then going into Bali Bliss, which is coming up. And the reason why we're talking about both is because Austin has attended one. I met Austin at Selva Soul in Guatemala last year in 2022, and then he signed up for Bali Bliss a month ago, and we're so ecstatic to have you again. And I actually met him in Guatemala at the Mystical Yoga Farm for the first time, just being there like together, because Salma had brought him from the Mycelium Fest. And I just wanted to ask, like, what attracted you to come to Selva Soul, the Flowarts and Immersion retreat that we were hosting? Like, what called you in?
Yeah, I think I was most called by a desire to honestly dig deeper. Could, I noticed that I was going to a lot of festivals, really getting the most out of that festival season of the summer, and then fall came around, and I was looking for ways to continue, having fun, but like also really like processing and reflecting and engaging really meaningfully with my time. And then when I found Selva Soul and Brian and Salma like told me about this offer that you guys were creating, yeah, it really stuck out to me as like something that I felt really called to do for myself.
Amazing. Yes, and we're so happy you came, because like when I met you out there, I was so enamored. Your energy is just really playful and fun. And yeah, I just want to ask, like, did you have like a movement practice beforehand? Because the whole entire retreat was pretty much like flow, fire, dance, like twerk shop, things that people like don't normally like get involved in on a daily day. So I was curious if you had a movement practice before you joined.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I did like lots of festivals, and I would be the guy who is suggesting that either you go to the very front and dance everything off, or you go in the back where there's more room and you dance everything off, but you don't just stand in the middle. And so, there was a lot of like dance elements of my life that I've been especially tapping into the past couple of years. But when it comes to understanding what I can actually do on my own, independent of other people, and how that actually helps me to get into a flow state that is independently driven. That was really powerful. And, I was probably up to this point, doing yoga like once or twice every week. And that was
Nice.
important to me. But like this helped me to connect so much more with my body in a way that sort of took some of that strictness and discipline, and I should do yoga out of the
Mm.
equation. And it brought in a lot more of that. I could do yoga, or I could go to something tonight where I know I'm going to get to dance really energetically and like really move my body and like let it do what it wants. And so this kind of really opened up that path for me.
Dude, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yes, and I think you shared that you had never like even considered fire flow, or, the art of fire dance, and that you were exposed to it. What was that like for you?
Yeah. For a man who, has desired to be masculine, that was like the excuse that I could use where it's like, oh, why am I going on this like retreat? Like, yeah, there's yoga, and also I'm going to learn how to spin fire. So
That's so cool. There's a video of you that I have, and I might like try to clip it in here of you like picking up the fans for the first time, and you're just like so into it. And I'm like, yes. And then Brian's in the background, like, wow, he's like really good. And you just it's like what you had an audience, and it was like, this is what we're doing. And there's like so much that goes into fire dancing in general, just fire safety, like the art, the honor of fire, like what it means, how to flow. There's so many different like avenues of flow arts, and it doesn't have to just be fire, but you even like played with the silk fans, and that's kind of more of like a feminine thing, but at the same time, like it's just embodiment. It's just kind of like getting you to do something that you like didn't really know what like how to do before. So that was the intention that I had.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I wanted to ask, like, what do you think was the most impactful thing attending a retreat, over your day-to-day grind or going to a festival? Like, what do you think was impactful about that kind of container, and what's important to you about it?
Mm. I don't know how sexy of an answer this is, but actually the difficulty of attending the retreat.
Okay. So actually people love the
hmm
shadow work stuff.
hmm
So yeah.
That's indeed a lot of, like what actually like I was able to delve into and unearth and become aware of was how many processes and um, just like habits I was doing in my daily life and internal narratives and beliefs that I had running all the
Mm,
time
right.
as I, went around my corporate job and went to these like, to all the social events, doing whatever I am around LA on the weeknights and the weekends. And like it really took me out of that hubbub, that hustle
Mm,
in a certain way. Because, I wasn't only working, but certainly sometimes it felt like I was working the way that I would come home from a festival and be absolutely exhausted, depleted.
yeah.
And so it really took me out of that environment. And it was difficult to do so, to have that space and time to realize, look around, I'm in the jungle. I have to walk a quarter of a mile at least to go find some service if I do want to, reply or make a call. Um, electricity is like here and there. I mean, this was the Guatemala retreat,
Right.
as opposed to kind of what our experience will be in the Bali retreat. But like that difficulty and that like, awareness of all these emotions was such a such a like beneficial challenge
Mm,
because I was able to rise to that challenge because I was there doing it with people who were doing the exact same thing. I wasn't alone
right.
doing that. I was right there in the journey with other people who were also seeking.
Right.
And I think that's what I took away was like, I'm not the only one seeking.
Yeah.
And it is really helpful to introduce myself to spaces where like I have community. I'm not alone.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we were kind of out there. We were super remote out in Lake Atitlan. There was barely any service. It kind of like forces you to really drop in with like who you are with. And I like forget about the world outside when I'm really like present
hmm
in these retreat spaces, because it's so easy to like think about the to-do list, what you got to do, and then what I got to do when I get home. But like I'm gonna really enjoy these moments, which is why I continue to keep seeking that out and keep wanting to host these, because it's a reason to propel me to have more and more of these experiences. And we're so excited to have you come to Bali. You were at like, oh yeah, I'm at 30%. And then you were at a 40%. And then I saw you at my Mycelium and you're like, okay, I'm at a 75%. What are you going to do to get me to 80? And I was like, watch me flow. And so we started slowly getting your like energy and a percentage up to like 100%. And so we're just really excited that you felt called to join us again on another retreat adventure, because I feel safe. Like at first I was a little bit nervous going to Bali. I've never been there before. Selma has been there. I see all these beautiful things. Bali keeps calling me. I'm like, I'm going to be really
hmm
intentional. Also attending another retreat for Jesse Spins. And I'm like, I might as well be there for that month. But then when I find that like people I know and love in this community that we're creating are coming again and again, it's just this beautiful like safe feeling. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank you for joining me and sharing with the world like your process and progress. And I see you, and I can't wait for you to be with me in Bali and just get to hug you again and flow and dance and twerk and all of the magic. So infinite gratitude to you, my sweet sweets.
Gratitude received, my sweet sweets. Thank you, honeybee.
Yes.
I'll
And
need
while
another
you,
twerk shot before I can accept those dollar bills.
yes, we're gonna make it rain. So I know that we both have to get back to our lives, and so do you, my sweet audience that are watching. And I hope that if you're feeling called and Austin was the one that drew you in, just let me know. And we're so excited to continue this movement and flow and your journey. So we'll talk again and we'll be around soon. Let's just take
We
a
will
deep breath,
talk again.
close it out, and stretch it out. And let it go.
Oh, that always feels good.
Doesn't it?
Oh
I love
yeah.
you. I'll see you
I love you
soon.
too, honeybee. Thank you for your
Bye.
work. I can't wait to talk
Yay.
soon. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.